Hey guys, it's Kimberly. So today we're going to do a check it ready with me on this look right here. And it's just a very neutral eye with a pink lip. So enjoy. Thanks for watching. So first, I'm going to start with my foundation, and I'm going to use the Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation, and I'm in this shade Light 45. So I just like to pump some on the back of my hand and dab it on my face. And then go in with a moist beauty blender and just dab it. I like to press it in so that it doesn't crease. This is a really long wearing and full coverage foundation, so you want to apply a very thin layer and really blend it out well. And then I just work my way down the face. Also, this is a matte foundation, so you want to work kind of on the faster side so that the color is nice and even once you blend it out. And then once I'm done covering my face completely, I always bring it right behind the ears, a little bit on the ear, and down the neck to avoid a harsh line of demarcation. It just blends into the rest of your body color much nicer, especially if it's not exactly your skin tone or doesn't match perfectly. It makes it look a lot more natural. Okay, so after my foundation, I go into concealer, and I use the Lumi in Ivory. And I just twist it up, and I make triangles underneath my eye. And I like to work one at a time so that it doesn't dry and look patchy. And then I just go back in with my damp beauty blender and blend that out. And then I just do the same on the other side. If you bring it up past your eye, if you have a narrower face, it can widen it, but if you have more of a round face, stopping here would be more preferable because it would make your face shrink more. And then after I blend that out, I do the chin, I do my Cupid's bow, I do down the nose, and I do a little bit on the center of the forehead, not the whole forehead. And doing this and blending it out evens the highlight out in your T-zone, and it gives for a more luminous and balanced look. Okay, and after everything's all blended out, I always go in and set my concealer right away so that it doesn't settle into the fine lines. And so I just go in with a big, fluffy powder brush, and this one's from Sephora, and my Stay Matte powder from Rimmel. And I go under the eyes. And on the chin. And just everywhere that we put that concealer is what I do first. But since I really like a matte look, and I feel that it helps once we do the bronzer and everything, I like to set everything, my whole face, all the foundation, so that it doesn't slide and we really get a very long lasting look. And after I set everything, that's when I like to go in with my bronzer. And I like to use the Hoola bronzer by Benefit. And again, I use another Sephora brush. And this one, it's kind of like a powder brush, but you can see it's like flat and it's on the stiffer side. So with the flat edge, I can really carve out when I do my contour. So I just tap it in and I tap it off. And then I start from the top of your ear and going to the corner of your chin is where you want to put your contour. See? And it should be concentrated more so back by the ear. And then you just blend. And when you blend, you always want to blend upwards, never downwards, or else it just defeats the purpose of the contour. You're really trying to sculpt out the cheekbones. And then I just do same thing on the other side. And then, just like we evened out the highlight by bringing it in our T-zone, we have to even out our bronzer. So I take it all around the hairline. And then on the temples. And the jawline. If you take it down to the jawline, then it really emphasizes this and it can give you a more like sculpted look. Defines your jaw. And then I also like to bring it down a little bit on my neck and give me that bronzy glow. Alright. After that, I like to take my fan brush, as well as from the Rainforest After Dark palette from Tarte. I like to use the champagne color as my highlight. I find that doing your highlight after your bronzer as opposed to doing your blush right away really helps for those who feel like they're too heavy-handed on their blush, because it gives you like the perfect placement right between your highlighter and your contour. It just leaves a perfect space for it. On the highlight, I like to put it right on the tops of my cheekbones and a little bit on my chin, down the center of my nose, tiny bit on the forehead, and on the Cupid's bow. Alright, and then after that, that's when I like to go in with my blush. And I'm going to go in from the same After Dark palette from Tarte with the center piece, which is blush. And it's in the color Unleashed. I start from the back and go down the center, right in between the contour and the highlight. And same on the other side. And if it's looking too harsh or the contour, the blush, and the highlight look too separated, I like to just go back in and just make circles and just blend it all together. The most important thing is always blending. Okay, and then after blush, it's time for eyes. So I always prime my eyelids, and with my Naked palettes, they give you these little foil packets, so I figured I'd use them up. And I'm going to go in with Eden, the Urban Decay eyelid primer, and just prime my eyes. Priming the eyes is a really important step. It really helps your eyeshadow to last a lot longer and even be more pigmented. If you have an eyeshadow that's beautiful but not necessarily the most pigmented, it's really helpful to prime your eyes. Okay, now let me zoom in. Okay, so first I'm going to take my Morphe 35C palette, which is 35 colors and they're all matte. And the first thing I'm going to go in with is this color right here. And it's showing up a little bit more orange on camera, but I'm going to use it as my transition shade. So I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and just dab it in and go all in the crease and all over the lid. And do the same on the other side. Make sure this is really blended up, because this will just help the blending process for all the other shadows after. Okay. So next, I'm going to go with this brown color on top. It's a little bit deeper, and I'll use that to deepen up my crease. So on another fluffy brush that's slightly smaller and flat, so I can really get definition in the crease, I'm just going to go in and pack it on the outside V and take it into the crease. I have very hooded lids, so as I close my eyes, it can look a lot more intense, and when I open them up, it looks a lot softer. So I can go in with a lot darker colors. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm concentrating most of the pigment on the outer V. Okay. And then I'm going to go in with my I'm going to go back in with the Rainforest After Dark palette by Tarte with this gold shade right there. And I find that metallic-y colors have much better payoff if you use your finger. You can see that that's really shimmering pretty. And I'm going to take that right on my lid. And do the same on the other side. Okay. Now with the same brush that I used before for the dark brown but with no extra product on it, I'm going to go back and forth and blend the two together. And the same on the other side. Okay, and now with a smudge brush, a really tiny, short-haired, stiff brush, I'm going to go into the Rainforest After Dark palette again, and I'm going to use this light brown shade right there for my lower lash line. And same on the other side. And then the same highlighter shade that I used before, the Champagne, I'm going to also take and put it on the inner corner, all over the inner corner. Putting a light champagne-y or a highlight shade on the inner corner, it brightens the eyes and opens them up. Okay. And now I am going to zoom you out. And I'm going to take a gel eyeliner. This is the black gel eyeliner from Lorac. And an angled liner brush. And I'm just going to dip it in. And I'm going to do my waterline with this. For me, doing the waterline just ties a whole look together. And I also tightline. And you can see the difference between this eye and this eye. This eye just looks a lot more closed in and finished. And I just do the same on this side. And now I'm going to just go in with mascara. But, first I'm going to curl my lashes And this is just a Tarte eyelash curler. And I just squeeze for a second, and then I give a couple pumps, and then release. And I do the same on the other side. Squeeze, and then pump. And now I'm going to go in with Makeup Forever mascara. This is one of the little deluxe size samples, and this was given out at Sephora for a birthday gift. And I got some mascara up here, but if that happens, just don't try and rub it off, because you'll smear it. Just wait for it to dry. And once you're done, you can just rub it right off, and it will just crumble off and won't ruin your makeup. Okay, and now for the brows. So for the brows, I'm going to be using my Anastasia Brow Wiz in Brunette. First, I always go through and comb them out. And I have very full brows, so I don't really need to do much filling in. But there are some areas that are kind of sparse. So I like to just comb through them so that they're laying the way I'd like them to. And then I'll go in with the other side, the pencil, and just fill in lightly in little small strokes to mimic hair. Fill in the parts that are lacking. And then after I'm done with that, I just comb through them again to soften up if any of the lines came out too harsh. Kind of feathers them. And then, to ensure that they are staying the way that I like them for the rest of the night, I will go in with Anastasia's Tinted Brow Gel, also in Brunette, and just set my brows. This stuff is amazing. Your brows will not move. It's like hairspray for brows. Okay, and lastly, for the lips. So I'm going to take a red lipstick and do my lips in this red color. And then after I put that red color on, I like to take a tissue and just blot off the extra so that I can layer another lipstick on and it won't cake up or build up. And then I'm going to go in with this matte stick from Absolute New York in the color blue purple, NFA 56. It's just this gorgeous purpley color. I'm going to put that on top. And then after I put that color on, I'm just going to go back in with the tissue and blot off the excess. Putting this purple on top of a red makes it more of a bright purple. It gives it like a background, and I just love that color. And then just to mute it out a little bit because it is kind of bright, I like to go back in with a gloss, and I'm going to use the Buxom gloss in White Russian, which is just a pinky nude, and it will just sheer it out just a little bit and give it a little bit of a shine. Just like that. And that's the finished look.